How's it going, YouTube? Coming at you today with another video, and I am so upset with the way that this ban list was handled. There's so many things that we wished would happen, and I know a lot of people right now are like, cry about it, Shifter's legal, but here's the thing, dog. If you need Shifter to play the game, you're garbage. You're garbage. I'm sorry, you're garbage. Shifter is a card that should never be a crutch for anyone. It shouldn't be. It's like playing Runic Stun and being like, I'm the best player in the game, right? Like, it's the same thing. Now, here's the problem. And I'll tell you straight up what the problem is with Shifter. I think Shifter would be fine. I think that it would be fine. If your opponent would Shifter you, you'd pass, and they wouldn't kill you. That would be great. If the deck was so low powered it needed Shifter to set up for a turn, and they had to pass back because they couldn't just like GG you, no problem. 10 pie, Prosperity, and Shifter, you die. You die. Night night. It doesn't matter. Play against Ritual Beasts. Shifter, dead. There's so many decks right now that drop Shifter on you, you can't do anything because of Shifter. It's a lingering 2-turn floodgate that if you don't start, you can't stop it. You can't stop it. You can't even open across that call by. You just lose. And it's like IO is banned because it shut off an entire area of the game. Spell cards. Red Reboot is banned because it shut off an entire area of the game. Trap cards. Shifter is somehow still legal, shutting off an entire location of the game, the graveyard. And before you're just like, listen, just don't play the graveyard deck. What good deck doesn't need their graveyard? What good deck doesn't need their graveyard? It makes no sense. It doesn't matter at all. The card is so toxic. I've not hated a card more than this. I thought I hated VFD. I hate Shifter. The card is so dumb. It should not be legal. It shouldn't be legal. It shouldn't be. If you have a rebuttal to that, definitely let me know in the comments below. But it shouldn't be legal, first and foremost. I'm just going to get that out of the way, because I already know the comments of what the errata say. It shouldn't be legal. 100%. Now, I had to address the obvious. I had to address the burden in the room. But we're going to move on to the ban list and talk about the implications of what the ban list will do. So, Lacrima's banned, and you can apparently still make Desiree without the Lacrima, so that is still going to be problematic. The only reason this card got banned is because of the fact that you don't have the ability to burn your opponent now. And even before, like, people stopped playing Lacrima because they just play the Necro Equip Princess because it's just better in general anyway. And it's just another way for you to kind of play around things like Imperium or Valor too, because at least you get the other body on board. So you're at least being able to put up like a Caesar or go for the sequence. So there's just a lot better ways to handle this. Appaloosa got banned. I think the Appaloosa, Baron, and Savage should all be legal. I think they should all be legal. I don't see a single problem with them at all. Learn to play through an end board. I think they're fine. I think that it's a problem when people are just like, I want to play my Dark Hole deck, and I don't want you to be able to do anything about it. And I think that is just the worst excuse ever, and that's lazy gameplay. If you're just like, I don't want to deal with an end board, learn to. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's about interaction, and the same Pokemon. We ain't going your turn, my turn. This is not how this works. That's not how this works. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is interaction based. Not, here's a Shifter, you die next turn, have fun. It's just, that's so lazy. That's so lazy. Calamity, card needed to go. Card needed to go. You don't want to sit down against Calamity the deck. It's not great. It's not great. I do agree the card should have been gone a long time ago. I was pleasantly surprised to see that go. 100%. Beatrice, this is a card that needed to go. As a tier player, it needed to go. It needed to. It's Lavalval Chain on crack. It needed to go. Eva has no business being in this game right now. Okay? We didn't really touch on this earlier. Eva does not need to be in this game right now. At all. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Eva does not need to be legal. If you understand what Drytron does, and I know there's gonna be 1,000 comments like, oh my god, you're worried about Drytron? What is wrong with you? But, like, here's the thing. If Drytron goes first, okay, they're gonna do one of three things to you. They're gonna put you under a Vanities Ruler, they're going to skip your turn, or they're gonna say that you cannot summon. So, like, take your pick. Do what you want. But, you know, that's gonna be a problem. So, it's only not a problem in some people's eyes because they're like, oh, Beatrice is gone, so you can't just, like, dump it. But, like, there's gonna be a way. You can also search it. So, like, you can also just pitch it. So, Drytron has been a threat in the past, and it's always been creeping around the top because there's ways to play the deck, and it still can do well here and there. I think that Drytron becomes a very scary contender with Eva again, and that's just not a deck that I want to see around, to be honest. Snake Eye, Ash, and Poplar to 1 each. I think Poplar is funny at 1 because if you draw it, then it sucks. It's, like, really bad. But, like, Ash and Poplar to 1 virtually do nothing. I think that it's really funny right now because a lot of people are like, oh, the deck's not that great. But, like, listen, we used to go and Blow Whale Pass. Like, that was literally the end board, was and Blow Whale Pass. And it was enough because we played the Fire King cards. So, you already played a low count of, like, Ash and Poplar anyways when you played those because you played cards like Ponix. So, I think that this is one of the things, too, where, like, these hits do nothing. Wanted's at 3. Diabellstar's at 3. We're going to have Azamina cards for additional support underneath this, and then we're also going to be able to play the Fire King cards again, so, like, Snake's still going to be the best deck in the format. People are saying Yubel's going to be the best deck right now, I think are coping. I think opening to 1, where the deck was already not that great, not able to play through that much, I don't think that it's going to be that good. I think that the Snake Eye deck is still going to be the best by far. Gimmick Puppet stuff, that deck was just annoying. Sure, get it out of here. Branded to 1, I don't care. This is still going to be a great deck. This is still, like, exorbitantly consistent. Because there's a lot of hands where, like, you just didn't open Branded Fusion, you get to it anyway, via, like, the Sarnir Albion play, where you just dump it to the grave, right? So I think having one of Branded Fusion doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. So this is going to be a problematic thing, especially with Puppet still around. We love getting puppeted, so, you know, that's really cool. Even if they took the angle of banning, like, Lost, I think I would have been okay if they limited, like, Fusion and banned Lost and, like, left the Puppet alone and still would have been, like, pretty ignorant. But, like, I think that's a better take on it. But, like, have fun dealing with Puppet still. 1 Prosperity, 1 Summoning. I think this deals with this deck quite often. Just because the deck already has consistency issues, and having 1 Pros and 1 Summoning, that does it. That does it. I think that's going to make this deck way less good. So that's definitely a really strong combo right here. Skill Drain to 1, sure. The card's annoying as hell. It's so annoying. So we definitely will, we'll see what that does. But then we have that Grass Looks Greener. And I know it's a one of, and you're like, okay, it's not going to be that relevant. 60 cards, 3 left arm, 3 thrust, and a that grass. It seems pretty good. Now, I don't know if that's fully cope yet until we test a lot more, but, like, grass is grass. And if grass resolves, you're probably dead. You're probably dead. So, it's pretty crazy, too. The other thing, too, we got the rulers, and I know that there's been a lot of variants of, like, the ruler Tenpai deck, so we'll see how that is, but it makes Shifter less good in the deck, too, so I don't know. Why is Ib at 2 and not just at 3? No one's playing this, so it's not a problem. And you'd only ever play 1 anyway. Tiger should have went to 3. I think Lunalight is going to be really fun to play with Tearlament, and we'll talk about that after we're done talking about the ban list. I'll show you my brand new 60-card Lunalight tier list. It's really fun. Then Colossus to 2, you're just allowing the Thunder Dragon deck to be playable, which is fun. Pretty cool. Now we have these two. Literally nothing on this page matters. Not a single thing on this page actually matters, which is crazy. It doesn't. So we'll definitely have to come back to this and see exactly what the implications of this list will be. I'll be making a tier list as well. I just kind of want to have a more in detailed chat while I'm actually here at home being able to talk on the ban list. So definitely let me know what you guys think about how the ban list went. But like I said, here is my 60 card Tearlament Lunalight list. So we did go with the horse cards and the 2-star, because this is very reminiscent of my list that I've always been playing at 40 cards. But now we're playing 60. So Lunalight Kaleido Chick is really broken. Again, it's a cost send like Prince, but there's 2 effects on this card that make this card really strong. One, if this card's sent to the grave by a card effect, you can add back a poly from your graveyard, which is insane, because not only can Black Sheep search it, but you can recycle Chimera with Muddragon, but getting it back to your extra deck. You can also recycle it with things like your Dragostapelia, and then keep using poly over and over. The other thing, too, is that Kaleido Chick has a second effect. If you banish this card, you can activate this effect. This turn, your opponent cannot activate cards and effects during the battle phase. So if you play against Tenpai, they auto-lose if you banish your Kaleido Chick, which is absolutely insane. I think this is going to be really, really strong. 2 Tiger, this card is just so free. The other thing, too, is, like, you have these cards in here, too, which are just, like, free reborns. So there's a lot of bodies that can hit the board. I don't play the Bujin Mill 5. I don't think that it's that good. I think it's a lot of bodies. You got to commit to it. I do play the Reaper and the Vampire, which I think is fine. I'm really just using these as additional bodies. You can play more rank 4s if you want, or like a Baguska. I just can't really find room unless I cut things like the Chimera, or if I want to cut things like the IP. I really don't, to be honest with you. I really don't. I think they're just going to be better link body fodders. But other than that, though, we do have 3 of the Lunalight Perfume. This card is a Searcher and a Reborn, not once per turn either, which is broken. We do have the main deck Perulia. I think it's fine. Again, it's a level 4 Aqua, so you can use it for multiple purposes. Also, you can drop it during your draw phase before you play. If your opponent tries to Bistral you, then you can just draw cards for free. So I think that's also really nice. That's just a really cool thing that you can do if you dead draw it, and it's just like, sure, I can still use them anyway. I do side into Thrust. I main deck the left arm and that grass. So going second, you have 7 ways to get to it. Going first, you have 4. Which I think is perfectly fine. It's just one of those things where if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you just play the deck anyway. As far as that goes, though, I do play Winda, and I'm siding the Shifter with the Crossout and the Called By. I think this is still necessary. Nib and Imperm is still my side options for tier. I think they're really strong accessories for going second. You want to make sure that you have a card you can draw into off the Perulia that is going to really matter, especially like a Nibiru, which I think is going to be really strong, especially if you Nibiru your own board. Which is also very strong. I still play the Melees. I still think they're free bodies that are really strong. Again, Pilgrim Reaper being able to mill cards off your deck and your opponent's deck, being able to see what they're playing, and then also be able to use Dark Charmer to bring something back, and then make a free Zombie Vampire, because if you steal any card from your opponent, you can treat it as a level 8, which is amazing. I've done that multiple times. I did that at the regional. I stole my opponent's Magnamut effect, and then overlaid it for a Vampire. Absolutely broken. But this deck list is really optimized right now as far as how I want it to be. I will leave the export deck link down below in the description if you want to check it out. I don't want to make you have to type in 60 cards, so it will be down there for you. But definitely let me know what you think about all this down below in the comment section. It's definitely been a long day for me. I was at work all day, and then on my lunch break, I went out to my car and reacted to the ban list, so that was a lot of fun too. Rip Shifter still legal. That's fine though, whatever. We'll win anyway. It's fine. But I hope that you guys all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you.